Allora, the ancient Roman hospitality, the yes. Hospitality refers to the relationship between a guest and an host, wherein the host receives the guest with goodwill, including the reception, entertainment, or guests or visitors or strangers. We can talk about hospitality. The word hospitality derives from Latin hospes, meaning host in English. Hospes, so, is the root for the English words hotel, hostels, host, and hospice. Roman, in their houses, had no great or big kitchens, but there were small and very small kitchens, with the exception of the patricians' villas. There was only a small oven with some stoves and some things used for cooking bread or buns or simple meal. Roman people usually spent during the day a lot of time away from home, and they used to buy lunch in shops. These shops were called taberne. In the first picture, we can see the markets of Trajan in Rome, like you can see it today. The taberne were small rooms, shops, where every people could buy food or wine or bread. In the Roman people during the day used to buy lunch in these shops or street vendors that in Latin are called lixa. Lixa in Latin were called also the settlers who followed the Roman legions when they were abroad. And this word in Latin is different from the word mercatores, because mercatores bought in the past every trades and in other words, but lixa were only or street vendors or the soldiers, the mercator that sold provisions for soldiers and officials and so on. In the ancient Rome, there were many eateries, restaurants today, and such as Thermopolium. This is a Thermopolium in Pompeii. And Popine, Taberne, Caupone, and Mansiones. In the ancient Rome, the word Thermopolium, from Greek, thermos, meaning hot, and polium, from the verb poleomai, that meaning to sell, and Thermopolium literally means a place where something hot is sold. And the Thermopolia were a public establishment where it was possible to purchase ready-to-eat food, like today the fast food. And these places were mainly used by the poor or those who can't afford a private kitchen in their houses. Then we can see a popina in Pompeii. Popina was an ancient Roman wine bar, and they offered to the guests a limited menu of simple food such as olives, bread, stews, and a selection of wines. But in the Roman and the Latin literature, these places were considered a bad place because they were for immoral and illegal behaviors generally. And the tavern, this is a part of the Trajan market in Rome today. And a taberna was a single room shop within a great indoor market, like the market of Trajan, built in the 1st century AD by the famous architecture Apollodorus of Damascus. And in the markets, Romans used to have many economic activities, and many services were provided to the guests, including the sale of cooked food and wine or bread. This is a taberna in Pompeii. But then the tavern became the word for good hostel for gentle travelers that needed something to stay during the travel and something better than the caupone. Caupone were for plebeians and the lower classes people in Rome. In the early days, when there was only a little unofficial travel, the houses placed on the road were required by law, and they have to offer hospitality on demand. But then these frequented houses became the first taberna. We can see one of the most famous taberna. This is the Taberna Cedice at Sinuessa on Via Appia. And this was one of the best hotels in the ancient Rome. And it had a large storage containing barrels of wine, cheese, and ham. Today, many modern cities grew up around the taberna complex, such as Rheinsabern in the Rhineland and Saverne in Alsace. And then, at the end, we have the mansiones. This structure, this Mansio Romana attaining in Germania Superior, because mansiones were used for officials and other unofficial travelers that for business were abroad. And mansiones derived from manere, signifying to pass the night at a place while traveling. And this structure had the form of a villa romana and were dedicated to travelers' rest, refreshment, and an important thing to say about it is that all the guests had to provide a passport to identify themselves, like today when we go abroad and we have to identify ourselves. Okay. I ragazzi che l'hanno fatto chi sono questo? C'è qualcuno di voi?
Direttamente posso leggere.
Scusate, ricordate che state visualizzando questa diapositiva, va bene? Questa è quella che viene dopo.
Sì, direttamente sul coso.
Okay. Syracuse is an important historical town in Sicily. It is located in the southeast coast of the island. The town is 2,700 years old. It played a key role in ancient time when it was one of the major powers of the Mediterranean world. The city is known for its rich Greek history and culture, amphitheaters, architecture, and also for being the birthplace of the prominent mathematician and engineer Archimedes.
Non riusciamo a passare alla... lì? Ok. Sì.
The Neapolis is an archaeological park of Syracuse. Inside there are different monuments: the Greek theater, the Orecchio di Dionisio, the Roman amphitheater, the Ara di Ierone. The Greek theater is one of the largest theaters ever built by the ancient Greek. Every year, as in the past, the Greek tragedies are represented in this enchanted place. The Greek tragedies that are acted in the theater are important cultural events, and people come from all over the world to see them. This year, Alcesti of Euripide, Electra of Sophocles, and Phaedra of Seneca were performed.
Near the theatre we can see the Latomie, stone quarries, also used as prison in ancient time. The most famous one is the Ear of Dionysius. Ortigia is a small island and the historical center of the town of Syracuse. Ortigia is separated from the mainland by a narrow channel. Two bridges connect the island to Syracuse. It is an extremely popular place for tourism, shopping, entertainment, and architecture. The hero of Ortigia is Piazza Duomo, where you can find the magnificent cathedral, which maintained the architectonic feature of the Greek temple it was in ancient time. It has been inserted in UNESCO World Heritage List since 2005.
Church of San Lucy. In the same square there is the Church of San Lucy, the saint patron of Syracuse. In this church it is possible to admire a painting by Caravaggio, one of the most famous Italian painters, San Lucy Burial. The Aretusa Fountain. It is a beautiful fountain on the island of Ortigia. According to Greek mythology, the freshwater fountain is the place where the nymph Aretusa returned to the land's surface after escaping from her home in Arcadia. In the water of the fountain grows papyrus plants. The Museum Paolo Orsi. Syracuse hosts one of the most famous museums of Italy, the Museum Paolo Orsi. Inside we can find archaeological things dating back to prehistory and to the Greek-Roman time.
If you don't know Sicilian street food, that's for you. This work has been prepared by Vincenzo and Filippo and Nino, so I think you really enjoy it. Miguel, don't be afraid. You'll be almost... Che successe? C'è una cosa che non funziona. Salvo? Avanti. Nella mia, quindi devi pigliare anche pezzo. Non lo sai. No. Forza, dai.
Sassa, prova. 1, 2, 3, sassa, prova.
Posso? Just a moment.
Sassa, prova. 1, 2, 3, prova.
Sorry. Cioè, ma sti immagini.
Comincia a parlare, tu comincia a parlare. Posso? Mi sento un po'
Quindi, Sicily and Italy in general are very famous in the world for their food. Lots of meals consumed in Italy are street food meals.
Usually, street food is sold by a vendor which you can find in the streets of in the markets. You can recognize them from their food carts or trucks. They can sell a variety of treats such as
arancino. Arancino is a typical Sicilian food. It's a rice ball, breaded and fried. If you open it, you can find meat, peas, mozzarella and ham.
It was first cooked in the 14th century during the Arabian domination. It is so called due to its shape and its color that resembles an orange, in Italy called arancia.
The panino is another street food that you can easily find in every city. It is cheap and fast to eat. It is formed by a long loaf in which you can choose the ingredients to put in. They usually are meat, freeze, and other dressings.
The one you see here are called panelle. They are really thin slices of chickpeas flour and parsley, and then mixed together in water. The dough that you obtain is then fried and served between two slices of bread.
Facciamo a Palermo professoressa. Facciamo avanti, pane. Annoto fa. O annoto romano, picciotto. Facciamo dire picciotto romano. Romano fa.
Who get only in Catania and Palermo, it is a dessert like arancino because of its shape. It is sweet pastry filled with chocolate cream and then fried. It remains crispy on the outside but soft in the inner part.
The cannolo is the Sicilian dessert par excellence. It's made by a country cylindrical waffle and stuffed in ricotta, custard or chocolate cream. Then it is covered in powdered sugar or pistachio flakes.
Cosa? This is what you eat, finger food, before you eat and then you listen, please.
It is food meant to be eaten directly using hands. It's used for events such as weddings, birthdays, and other celebrations.
Finger food is becoming more popular because it's less expensive and offers more flexibility with menu choice.
The most popular Sicilian finger food is the arancino. It's made with rice, mozzarella cheese, peas, ragu, and it's fried.
5 kilos, only one. But the big one, 5 kilos.
Pizzetta. It's a famous Sicilian finger food. It's a small margherita pizza served for special events.
It's a typical Sicilian dessert. It's made with choux pastry, and it's usually stuffed with ricotta cheese, but it can also be stuffed with chocolate or custard.
4 kilos, the big one. So 5 kilo, 1 arancino, 4 kilos, 1 cannolo, and 10 kilos with your...
Enjoy your meal.
I think you can't go to bath. Surely, some bath, nothing. Do you like this? No, aspetta. Salvo, what happened?
So, some little information about the rest of the day. We have finished for this morning our activities at school. So students and teachers are free of doing whatever you want. Please, Miguel, remember that this afternoon we have a walk around Aula, so please don't be drunk. We do. So, students may go with your peers at home, wherever you want. See you again there at 4 o'clock. There, yes, at school.
Sì, certo.
Greta, tanto qua di pomeriggio c'è il serale, capito? Perché verso le 6 poi abbiamo finito più o meno, ok? And now the school bus driver will pick you up to the